In today's episode of our Inspiring Women series, I'm talking to Lizzie Gordan. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me today, Lizzie. So Lizzie is the founder of B.X.M, a sustainable and ethical sports bra brand for women with size E+. So Lizzie, at B.X.M, you focus a lot on sustainability or being conscious of the people and planet. Your bras are made from recycled fabrics, and they're made in the UK by a small female-run factory, which is fantastic. And you also focus a lot on empowerment. So can we talk a bit about empowerment first? I particularly love what it says on your website about you having an insatiable desire to create a sense of belonging by channeling a strong sense of purpose, advocating for and giving a voice to people with big boobs, enabling them to embrace their inner warrior queen and let go of their inhibitions when working out, which is amazing. Can you tell us why that's important to you? And also, can you tell us a bit more about how and why you founded B.X.M?
Sure. I feel like the two are kind of linked. So I'm going to answer the second bit first, and then the first bit second. So basically, me creating B.X.M was effectively an entirely selfish folly, in the sense that I have always had a bigger chest, and it's always something that I really struggled with when it comes to finding clothing, bras, sports bras, anything really. And as my kind of fashion activewear choices started to move towards looking for brands that were more sustainable, more ethical, and looking to buy from smaller brands that were kind of thinking more about the planet, I was finding that it was easy for me to buy leggings, tops, all that sort of stuff. But when it came to sports bras, I was still having to buy from the 3 or 4 brands that are the main ones that cater for a bigger chest size, none of which were sustainable or ethical or really kind of doing anything to kind of move towards that more kind of I suppose clean green space. And so to me it seemed like a huge gap in the market, and so it was one that I eventually decided to fill, basically. And I suppose on the kind of journey to creating the brand and launching the brand and kind of running the brand, the thing that I have found very I don't know, kind of distressing, I suppose, is how little we all know about our chests. Like, most of us will know more about breast cancer than we do about general breast health when it comes to bras and boobs, and kind of knowing about them and kind of why it's important to wear the right bra and why it's important to wear the right size and all this different stuff. And really a lot of that is because for most of us, especially in the UK, breasts, boobs, whatever you want to call them, are still very much shrouded in shame. There's still this thing that is very sexualized, especially bigger boobs. They're kind of seen as either you are getting them out and so you're asking for it, or you're covering them up and that's something that's wrong with it as well. And so I think that when it comes to empowerment, it's almost around like kind of empowerment through knowledge, and kind of getting more people thinking and talking about their boobs, and kind of almost healing the relationship that they have with their chest.
Wow, yeah, I really like that. And I can totally understand now why you also say in your marketing and on your website that your body is your superpower. At Cyssan, we talk a lot about your uniqueness being your superpower. And we have a phrase that we put everywhere that says, be unconventional, embrace your uniqueness, it's your superpower. What does being unique or being unconventional mean to you?
I feel like, and it's a phrase that has kind of been hijacked a bit, but the idea of being a game changer, so looking at the way something is run, the way something is built, and thinking, I can probably do that better, or how about we think about trying it this way, or the way that it's currently working doesn't really work for everyone, so why don't we think about doing something different? And so, you know, I think that difference in general and kind of unconventionalness is something that has kind of almost only really come into being kind of more mainstream, if you will, in more recent times. You know, I, along with being a small business owner, I'm also neurodivergent, and so I see the world differently anyway. So I think that there is a huge amount about that is unconventional, and actually is something that I really love to celebrate. And you know, the brand B.X.M, that the brand that I've created, is unconventional. It is talking to women about their boobs, and talking about big boobs, and talking about bras, and all these other things that we always try to do it in a very like plain and adult fashion. Like, we will never use nicknames, we will never kind of like, you know, almost kind of infantilize it in a way. You know, we are here to kind of almost take back the power and kind of use that to then empower people to be more unconventional, to start thinking outside the box when it comes to their chest, not that it is just this thing that has been created either for kind of like the sexualization element of it or the nourishment element of it, and there is really nothing else.
So B.X.M is quite unique in this area. Is that important for you as a brand?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it came from the fact that there were lots of other brands in the space that I just didn't really identify with. You know, they weren't really powerful brands. They weren't really kind of like trying to almost kind of like get people to step into their female power. They were kind of using very pastel-y colors and very kind of like soft language. And you know, I like to say that the brand is a rebel with a lowercase r, in the sense that, you know, we still conform to some conventions, you know, that every kind of retail brand has to conform to. But you know, the way that we talk to our customers, the branding that we use, the colors, you know, the fact that we are kind of almost like sustainability is a non-negotiable for us. You know, we're not profit first, we're very much people first. And so all of these things are against the norm of pretty much a way that pretty much every fashion brand is created, especially within the kind of lingerie industry.
I think it really stands out. When I had a look, you know, at your website, your social medias, very different to some other lingerie brands and sportswear brands. So well done. I think it's fantastic. And finally, can we talk a bit about watches? So I think you know that we designed our watches to be worn in a more unconventional way on the inside of the wrist. Had you ever worn a watch this way before?
I actually hadn't, but I wear watches in a more unconventional way because I'm left-handed. So my watch always exists on my right wrist. As you'll see, I'm wearing my watch right now, and it's on my right wrist because I am left-handed. For whatever reason, I always have worn a watch on my right wrist. So I feel like wearing it on the inside almost makes more sense to me than wearing it on the outside. Because it's easier for you to quickly flip your wrist and check the time. It fits in the sense that the back of it is also got kind of detailing on it that it's almost like a bracelet. You know, I think that for me it kind of makes sense. But no, I've never actually worn a watch on the inside of my wrist.
And does it feel comfortable? Do you think you'll continue wearing it that way?
I feel like it's really comfortable. I feel like it's one of those things that it takes a second for your brain to kind of like reprogram itself that that's the way that you look at it. But then once you start doing it, it then becomes second nature, and almost like that was the way it was always supposed to be.
Have you tried any of your other watches that way around?
I haven't, more because the only other watch that I can find at the moment is like a sports watch, and so wearing it on the inside of my wrist, I can't get the face to light up when I like flip the wrist around. So I haven't, but it's definitely kind of prompting me to go and find some other watches and see what they feel like being worn that way around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what do you think to your Cyssan watch?
I love it. I think it's very unique with the pink face on it. I really like the band. As I said, I really like the detailing on like the buckle and the little kind of oval
Yeah,
shaped
yeah,
charm that
yeah.
goes with it as well. I think, you know, it makes it very beautiful to look at both from the back and the front. So both the face and the strap at the back. I think it's you know, it's really lovely. I also really love, this is more of a personal thing, but the fact that so many of the watches are available with silver hardware as well as gold, because I'm a silver gal, and often it's very difficult to find things in silver because gold is very fashion.
Yeah, yeah, you see it a lot. It's true. I think it was important for us to have both, because I know I have a lot of friends that prefer silver to gold, or it depends on what they're wearing. You know, they might like a gold
Yeah.
accessory and then sometimes silver accessories. So yeah, wanted to include both. Great. So thank you so much for chatting to me today, Lizzie. It's really interesting. And good luck with B.X.M. and hope to see you
Thank you very much. Fab. Thank you.
Bye.